plate of roast?
Take a look and let me know if you'd like to purchase anything.
Hello there. You look quite fit, quite able. Perhaps I'll have work for one so hearty as yourself. Well, once you hear the details, I'm sure you will lose interest. Everyone else does. We of the Alfar Merchant Navy wish to hire a representative to track and kill the notorious pirate Dead Kell and his crew of murderous hanged men. They had many names for him during the Middle Kingdom's era. Ghost of the Frostbreak, the Blood-Red Sail. Every captain and swab on the Frostbreak Sea feared for their lives when Kell raised his flag. Many widows were made in those days, my friend. Of course, that was centuries ago, before he was killed. Oh, yes. The Alfar Navy put an end to Dead Kell generations ago. They tracked him to his island hideaway and turned his ship to tinder. There were no survivors. Now you understand our predicament. Our shipping and transport lanes are a gauntlet. Dead Kell preys on our ships like scabs feast on the dying. We are helpless against him. We're losing 1 in 5 vessels departing from Rathir. Good sailors gone, vital supplies sent to the depths. This must end now. You will? Truly? I must admit I did not anticipate this development. Here is your payment. It is made in good faith. Once you've made your preparations, report to Captain Rast Bratigan in the Keys. She will be your escort. Rast is a good and loyal companion and a competent sailor, despite what they say. May Lyria protect you, and may her breath ever be at your back. Good luck. She is the only captain willing to pursue Dead Kell into the mists of the Frostbreak Sea. Perhaps it is her courage, her skill, her determination. No, it's not it. Rast is a good woman, but unaware of her own faults, of which there are many. They don't call her the worst sailor alive for nothing. Nothing causes a captain and crew more grief than those little blue beasts. Their poisonous secretions can eat through a new hull in a matter of days. They're not native to this region, but they stow away in the shadowy holes of ships sailing up from the north. They are Dead Kell's legendary crew, a trio of villains so sinister that their names sink the heart of every sailor. But I won't tell you any more. No, you don't need anything else to stoke your worry. She perches along the pier like a seabird, never venturing far from her ship, the Calamity. Trust Rast. How go the preparations? You had best outfit yourself for the worst. One never knows what might happen at sea. Trust Rast.
Hail.
If it's a bed you need, speak to Rove at the bar. I do love hearing a sailor's yarn.
Excuse me, coming through.
What's the good word then, eh? Now what hasn't old Jaber done and been? Traveller in my youth, Captain, and that's the truth of it. And then I went to war. Did my part in Cluricon, but those days too are behind me now. A stranger land you'll never see. It's not lush and peaceful like here. It's dark and overgrown. But even then you could see the wounds of war upon the lands. I was a ragged urchin then picking pockets. Took me in when I tried to empty one of theirs. They taught me a thing or two. Dancing with fey folk by moonlight, making Almain maidens blush. Oh, wandering days. Now, I've not heard from the lad, but then that was the plan, aye? Wasn't it, Captain? By the look of you, you've stretched your legs. You've seen a fay or two yourself. They're folk and not folk, aye, Captain? Wise in years and wild as children, somehow both at once. And how some love to dance and sing. Ha ha! Well, Captain, some tales are best untold, don't you think? Still, a blush and a kiss may be the sweetest things in Amalur. Well, Captain?
Eh?
All we haul ashore must pass the Chamber of Trade. Rows will do you a bit of good.
Breeze is nice, eh? All we haul docked in Rathir today. A drink, some cheer, hot meal, then on the way tomorrow morning.
Well, well,
Don't bother me. I'm waiting for a passenger, some suicidal idiot. Can't be caught chatting. I want to make a good impression. Bloodgrin, the Whispering Witch, and the Baronet. Oh, fiends and killers, all of them. They give sailors a bad name. Well, tie me up and drag me under. So you're the one the Navy's hooked into finding Gallows End and killing dead Kel. It's suicide! Really? Ask the others. Oh, wait. You can't. But don't worry about them. Like my mother said, don't weep for the fallen. Even if they could hear you, they wouldn't care. You know, the other applicants. Dead. All of them. All of the ones they found, that is. Plenty of others just vanished. One poor fellow was found cut into teeny tiny pieces. They needed a bucket to pull all of him from the surf. But don't you worry, we'll have a fine voyage. He's the worst of the worst. A villain who truly enjoys the pain he inflicts. He's a slippery one, though. Not even death can catch dead Kel. I'd love to be the one to bring him in. Maybe then I'd finally get some respect. It is the mysterious island fortress of dead Kel and his crew. Why? Do you know how to get there? Because I have no idea. I was hoping to figure it out as we go, but I'm starting to wonder if that's a good idea. Ah, but am I? Nothing in sailing is within our control. Not the weather, not the waves, not the ship. Like Mother said, most of the time trying is a bad idea. Tari and I are ready when you are. Only what you want with you in case of an emergency. There aren't many merchants where we're headed. He's the fine first mate on the ground next to me. Words aren't his strength, although I'd be pressed to say what is exactly. I found him after I was forced to maroon my last first mate on a desert island. That man became obsessed with me, probably because we had sex. A lot. Seeing as I don't believe in navigation, I'd have to say no. Not at the moment. Not to worry. Once you've wrecked enough ships, you get the hang of it. If you're ready to depart, my vessel awaits. You'll find her both swift and seaworthy. Just don't go down into the hold. There's a leak down there. It's big. I'm predicting an uneventful voyage. We might even get bored. Off we go then. Trust no one. Except me, of course.
Hear the tale of
the Pirate King, who cut a blood-red wake from dark Rathir to Frostspring Sea, and Dead Kell was his name. With hanged men crew and bone-white flag, he sailed from Gallows End. No solace for a sailor true when Dead Kell's ship came in.
Foresee such a horrendous disaster. Too bad. Are you well? Everything in its right place? Most of the others were killed. It wasn't quick. I heard their cries in the fog, but I couldn't do a thing. Dead Kell. One moment there was nothing but open sea before us, and the next there he was. It didn't take much to sink the Calamity. That poor ship was asking for mercy, and Dead Kell granted her wish. Welcome to Gallows End, my friend. At least I think that's where we ended up. I hope you like surprises. I did no such thing. I handpicked each man and woman on the vessel. I knew each one of them personally, their stories, their aspirations. I would never hurt a single one of them. I'm just thankful that Tari is still with us. Not sure exactly, but he's bleeding like a gutted fish. We're going to need to reach shore if we want to fetch help. We'll have to come back for him. I wish there was another way. Gone, Lyria, bless her. Like Mother always said, never love anything, because all things end up dead. A wise woman, my mother. And very, very sad. The hull drifted off into an eastern cove, where it sank away completely. Only bubbles remain. Without a ship, I no longer possess any authority, so I defer to you. There is a flooded cavern down the beach. It may lead us to shore, although it appears to be blocked. I could try cobalt explosives. I keep a few in my pack, but I can't be certain of the outcome. To be honest, I don't even know if they work. No time to jaw. I've crashed a lot of ships, but I can't claim this one. Dead Kell gets all the blame for the death of the Calamity. He'll pay. I'll see to it. My cobalt explosives will do the trick. I only hope I have enough of them. Are we there yet? This cavern is our only hope. The tide will come in soon, and then we'll really be sunk. Let's go! This cavern is our only hope. The tidal... Are we there yet? This cavern is our only hope. The tide'll come in soon, and then we'll really be sunk. No time to jaw. jellyfish. I'm out of explosives. And we're so close, I can hear the waves on the sand. One of us is going to need to find some way to get us through this wall. And by someone, I mean you. You see, I don't swim. Or did I fail to mention that? Anything that can get us through this wall. Be creative. I'd help you, but I can't swim. Are we there yet? Is unsettling. Like a dream I had once, but without the gnomes. Simple! We get out of here. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to kick off these wet boots. Let's go! Smell that? Fresh air. We're close. It's time to get out of here. Amazing! We survived! I didn't want to say anything in the cavern, but I was betting against us. In the words of my dear departed mother, always prepare for the worst, for it'll probably happen. There looks to be a settlement on the beach. Come, let's see who's at home. That village looks inviting. What with its starving inhabitants and looming gallows. Perhaps someone there can help us. Ready when you are? You're leading this mission now. You might want to introduce yourself. right then.
Akara blesses us with another lost soul. Welcome, stranger. I am Alder Malloy, and you've arrived at Cape Solace just in time. Tell me, how have you come to find yourself upon our shore? It is a village established by those of us whose fates have brought us to Gallows End. Sailors and settlers, foreigners and families, but castaways all. We have made a life here on these beaches and in this village. Akara is the reason I am here. The reason all of us on this island are here. And maybe, my friend, it's why you are here as well. Akara is this island and everything upon it. Ah, so you're here for the oppressor, he who was cast down. You're not the first to arrive on these shores in search of him. You will not be the last. But Akara's magic protects us here in Cape Solace. We are safe from Dead Kell's deathless touch. The same cannot be said for those who venture past the boundaries of the village, near the keep and the surrounding forest. Dead Kell was the favourite son of Akara. He was given great gifts from our protector, only to squander them in the pursuit of power. We are blessed not to fear him. So many others live at his mercy, but not those of us here on the safety of the beaches. Akara protects the faithful. Why, it is the great fortress that looms in the north. Grave Hall, as it was named by the Diverga craftsmen who raised its mighty walls. But the Diverga have long since abandoned the island, leaving their great keep empty. Some in the village, like Paddy, are intrigued by the keep's dark courts and corridors. But I would avoid it. Grave Hall is haunted. The villain Dead Kell rules much of this island, and he strives tirelessly to control every last inch. Akara will not let this happen. We are protected in this spot alone, just south of the river and along the coast. The Fallen One has no power here, and it enrages him. Then you will fit in well, for keeping the village strong is truly a group undertaking. We get by with Akara's blessing and providence, of course. You may stay with us for as long as you wish, but might I suggest that you find a way to make yourself useful? We all must do our part. He is this island and everything on it. His power and wisdom give us direction, help us to chart a course through the thundering storm of this mortal life. Akara has been a part of Gallows End since before the first castaway dragged his boat ashore and kissed the damp sand beneath his feet. We here in Cape Solace worship Akara because it is he who provides safety, sustenance, and sense of purpose. I once captained my own craft. I was a thief and a smuggler. But all that changed when I found myself here, upon this mysterious shore. Akara blessed me with a second chance. That is what he does. He shows you what is possible. He shows you the fates of which you've never fathomed. I met Bridget, another castaway. And later we had our beloved Nina. All the happiness I'd ignored in my early life were suddenly mine. He and his hanged men are not welcome near our village. Akara has made it so. The fallen sun stalks the forest and coasts of Gallows End, but he is a prisoner here as much as anyone. One day, Akara will rid us of him once and for all. I prefer the rolling tides of the Frostbreak to any grassy plain or hillside. I have lived a life adrift, seeing the world and meeting interesting people. All who find themselves on these white sand beaches have been drawn by Akara. Here you will discover many mysteries, but none more important than what to do with this opportunity. Who will you be when you leave Gallows End? The same person who came? Or someone else entirely? She means well, but like all children, she craves freedom and independence. She will learn to respect boundaries. This is an island, after all. He's a funny one, plagued by delusions and inspiration. I've known Akara to touch people, but Paddy acts more touched in the head than blessed. Ever since he arrived, Paddy has had a covetous eye on Gravehall Keep. I don't know what it is about that old ruin that so bewitches him. Magical deviants like their master, the hanged men terrorize any who brave the wilderness. Bloodgrin stalks the docks of Kells Harbour to the west, while the Baronet rules the mountains in the north, haunting its peaks and twisted islands. Worst of them all is the Whispering Witch. We never know where she will strike next. Please, help yourselves to our many blessings. Akara has made it known that we are chosen.
I don't know about you, but all of this talk about Akara is unsettling. I'm going to ask around about ways to get off the island, since I'm almost certain we're not going to want to stay. We'll have to secure another vessel, but from the looks of the village, they don't often venture past the reef. In the meantime, I'll ask you to scour the beaches for survivors of our wreck. I fear that we may be all that's left of the calamity. Such a possibility has left me agitated. I try not to worry. Anxiety doesn't agree with me. I throw up. I did not see my bosun Thora among the dead, or his wife Asa. There's a chance they have evaded death's grip and still count among the living. Mark my words, if even one of them survives, I will fight to the earth's edge to find them. That's the spirit. I knew taking you on board was the right idea. That fortune teller didn't know what she was talking about. I will stay here and speak to Alder about a boat, and I'll have them send men to fetch Tari from the sandbar. I'll have dead Kel's head if it's the last thing I do. What was left of the ship drifted towards a cove past the eastern cliffs. I'd search there first, and I'd hurry. Don't let your guard down. Have you been to the wreck? What did you find? Keep your boots dry.
Not everyone has faith in Akara. There are those of us who would leave this village in an instant given the chance. I could never leave the village for Gravehall. I'd miss the sun, the sky, the sound of the surf.
Hello. Nesta Gwynedd is the most beautiful woman in the village, even if she is out far. Scuttle Beach is not far. It's a safe place, but still dangerous. I've known scavengers to be swept away at high tide.
Please, help yourselves to our many blessings. Akara has made it known that we are chosen.
You must excuse me. I am not feeling myself. I beg your pardon. The world is full of chaos, of tragedy and change. Akara is the certainty, the island in a sea of sorrow. I had no faith when I arrived here. A girl with no future, no hope. Now I know what I must do. Akara has blessed me with purpose. He was little more than a scalawag when I met him. A bandit without a band. All he needed was a bit of direction. That was me. If I had a childhood, I do not recall it. My only memories are of the cruelty that the slavers inflicted on my parents, and of the day they marooned me here to save food. My early years were spent scrounging to survive among the rocks. That was until Alder crashed here, and we began to work together, to find hope in the wreckage. That is when Akara spoke to us, and when we knew a village must rise. I cannot imagine a better place to grow and flourish. She has made this island her own, our Nina, and when Alder and I are gone, she will lead these people. Bless you. What do you want? I have no interest in speaking with strangers. I wish to be left alone. Akara keep you.
Not your mother. Well. Another soaked and straggly survivor looking for a little comfort. Look elsewhere, friend. He's a tyrant, nothing more. We're captives here so long as Akara guides us. All my life I've heard of his benevolence, his protection. But what's he protecting me from? I'll tell you. Freedom. A whole world awaits us beyond these shores. A world I'll never discover. He keeps the village together, but sometimes that's not enough in a leader. I won't say more. I don't know you. You'll get used to it. We don't have much, but we get by. If you're not one for cooperation, then you'd best find a camp of your own. Many years ago, this island belonged to the Dread Pirate. It was his lair, a place where the justice of the Alfar held no sway. But time passed, as it always does. His influence here has waned. I wouldn't let it keep you from slumber. I was born and raised on this island. I know many of its secrets. At least those it's willing to share with me. While I feel at home on Gallows End, I want nothing more than to leave it. Between Akara, Dead Kell, and my father, there's no room left for the rest of us. I keep the village of Cape Solace in wild game, for when the sea is stingy with its yield. I also scour the forests and cliffs for plants, for our village alchemists. However, most people on Gallows End only know me as Alder's daughter. Till I escape this place, I'll never be anything more than that. He never quite fit in with the rest of us in the village. Didn't do his part, carry his load. Apparently he's got other plans. I don't know why my father put up with him. See ya.
Hello there, castaway. I've heard about you. You're the one what brought the captain. She's a quirky sort, not that I'm judging. Anything I can do to make you more comfortable? Without his gift of endless comfort, I never could have faced the days alone. Everything I am now is because of him. I have seen him just the once. He was poking his skull-white face out from one of the Western fastings. Scary? Bah, not in the slightest. Only cowards lurk about in the mud and take what doesn't belong to them. You're scarier than he is. My husband was killed in the wreck of the Blue Sabre, along with our children. Fauna, Peter, and little Gwen. It was not easy, especially during the first years. But with Akara's grace, I moved past the grief and flourished. Getting marooned here was a blessing. People are always happy to see my face. That's because I'm the one who gets things. Besides, people only wish to return to the mainland if they have something to return to. I don't have this problem. Haunted, cursed, damned. All of them apply to Gravehall. No one has set foot beyond those walls in years. It's a place left to the ages. Don't let Padrig and his friends convince you otherwise. Oh, I could tell you a thing or two about Padrig Dower, but I won't. Too much of a lady I am. Paddy wishes only to serve in the highest company. The rest of us are scuttle in his eyes. He and his friends can keep their own counsel, if you ask me. Be good now. I'm surprised you're still here in the village. Plenty of new folks choose to camp elsewhere. Must be all the talk about Akara. I'll see you around. I wonder if that captain friend of yours would be willing to take a few extra passengers. Once she acquires a boat, that is. Have you seen Conrad or Angarad? Those two are always wandering off, but this time it seems different.
Nesta Gwynedd is the most beautiful woman in the village, even if she is Alfar. Nesta Gwynedd, we prepare the way for the new scion. The offering will take place soon.
Have you been to the wreck? What did you find? Lyria, watch over you.
I'm surprised you're still... Must be all the talk about Akara. Be good now.
Greetings. If only we could pass the river safely. The keep on the hill would be a fine fortress. The dark harbour lies to the west, beyond the great pillars. Speak no more of it.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Cillian, the Beastmaster. Cape Solace is nice, if you're into religious zealotry. Me, I prefer hanging out with animals to people anyways. I was trained to fight and bend the beast to mankind's service. Not skills in great demand here. We've never needed to fight, thanks to Akara's protection, and Alder refuses to allow beasts in the village. Thinks highly of himself, but there's no one better to have on your side. Take care.